Hello friends, I am Prof.N.S.Syama Prasad and today we are going to discuss two important amendments, 73rd and 74th amendments, popularly known as Panchayat Nagarapalika Acts. These classes are actually meant for candidates appearing for civil service examinations, KAS examination and other similar examination conducted by the public service commissions. Hope you will find this useful. Now we shall enter into the topic 73rd and 74th amendments. We all know 73rd and 74th amendments are related to Panchayat Raj institutions, municipalities and corporation. So when we study 73rd and 74th amendments, we have to go back to history. What all things happened in the development of Panchayat Raj institutions in India. We all know Panchayat Raj institution existed in India from the time immemorial. Even Vedas, there are references about Panchayat Raj institutions. Then we know British encouraged Panchayat Raj system, Mughals encouraged Panchayat Raj system, and after our constitution was framed, there are some provisions in the constitution that emphasize the importance of Panchayat Raj institutions. We all know Lord Ripon, a Viceroy of India, is popularly known as the father of local self-government India. He showed so much interest in the development of Panchayat Raj institutions and therefore he is called a good Viceroy of India. And you know, when you are asked a question, who is the father of local self-government in India, you may say Lord Ripon. Suppose there is another question, who is the father of modern Panchayat Raj system, you may say Balbant Mehta. Balbant Mehta is the father of modern Panchayat Raj system. If the question is local self-government, father of local self-government, you should say Lord Ripon. And we know when the Constitution of India was being framed, there was only one article concerning Panchayat Raj institution. That is Article 40. Article 40 is a directive principle. And Article 40 says, we must take necessary steps to strengthen Panchayat Raj institutions and we must give adequate powers to them. That's the only article in the Indian Constitution. Out of 395, there was only one article in the Constitution of India referring to the Panchayat Raj institutions. Then, in the 7th schedule divides power between the central government and state government, and in the 7th schedule, local administration. Instead of Panchayat Raj system, we are using local administration. That is mentioned as item 5 of the state list. Item 5 in the state list means law can be made only by the state government. We have clearly demarcated power between central government and state government, and certain powers are exclusively given to the state governments. So Panchayat Raj system is a subject exclusively given to the state government. That is why I said it is item 5 in the state list. Now we shall study how the Panchayat system developed in India. And you must remember, after the Constitution came into force in 1952, the central government started a scheme called Community Development Program, CD program. In 52, central government started a scheme called a Community Development Program. Community means a group of people, poor people generally living in a rural area. For the development of these people, government started a scheme called Community Development Program. And next year, 1953, government started another scheme called NES, National Extension Service. And you know, it was started as a pilot program. If it is successful in certain areas, that can be extended to other areas also. So two things you must remember, 52 we started CD program and 53 we started NES program. Then in 57, next important year you must remember 57. In 57, central government appointed a committee to study the working of CD program and NES program. And this committee was headed by a famous politician, Balbant Mehta. Balbant Mehta was the chairman of this committee that was asked to study the working of CD programs, NES program, and make an assessment and also suggest what changes should be made. So this committee gave a report to central government. And this committee made a suggestion that throughout India, Panchayat Raj institution should be established. Therefore, every state must be asked to make laws concerning Panchayat Raj system and we must establish Panchayat Raj system throughout the country. And he suggested a three-tier system. Present system is also three-tier system. Three-tier system of Panchayat Raj means there will be a village Panchayat, there will be a block Panchayat, and there will be a district Panchayat. This is known as three-tier system. Balbhadraya Mehta was an advocate, ardent advocate of three-tier system. So he gave a suggestion, and the government also liked this suggestion. And as I told you earlier, Panchayat Raj can be made only by the state government. So what the central government did, central government sent the report to all states, and the states were asked to make necessary laws and establish Panchayat Raj system as suggested by Balbhadraya Mehta. And every state started making laws. And Rajasthan was the first state to make such a law. And in 1959, in Rajasthan, they made the law, and in Rajasthan on October 2nd, 1959, Panchayat Raj system was formally inaugurated by the then Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. It was in the district of Nagaur district of Rajasthan. Panchayat Raj system was formally inaugurated in 1959. And you know, most of these things are inaugurated, most of Panchayat Raj programs are inaugurated on October 2nd, birthday of Mahatma Gandhi. So Rajasthan was the first state to establish Panchayat Raj system in India. And second state was, of course, Andhra Pradesh. Sometimes question might be asked, second state to make laws, Andhra Pradesh. Or sometimes they will ask a question, the first state in South India to make such a law, Andhra Pradesh was the first state in South India to make such a law. So in 59, we started Panchayat Raj institution as recommended by Balbhadraya Mehta. And after that, all states made necessary laws. Kerala also made such laws. And this continued for a long time. And in 1977, Morarji Desai was the Prime Minister of India. And Morarji Desai appointed a committee to study the working of Panchayat Raj institutions. Remember, it was the first committee, Ashok Mehta committee, that was asked to study the working of Panchayat Raj system. Balbhadraya Mehta committee was a committee to study community development programs only. And Ashok Mehta, he gave a report to the central government, and he was an advocate of two-tier system. Remember, two Mehtas are there, and Balbhadraya Mehta was a supporter of three-tier system, and Ashok Mehta favored two-tier system. Two-tier system means village panchayats and district panchayat, the intermediate level, block panchayat will not be there. Anyway, Ashok Mehta gave the report, and by that time Morarji had resigned, and no action was taken on the basis of this report. Then a number of committees, other committees were also appointed. G.V.K. Rao committee was there. Then another important committee that was appointed in 1986, a very important committee was appointed by the then Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. This committee is called L.M. Singhvi Committee. L.M. Singhvi Committee. This committee was appointed by Rajiv Gandhi. This committee was asked to give a report on the rejuvenation of Panchayat Raj institutions for growth and development. And L.M. Singhvi was a constitutional expert, a lawyer, and he gave the report. He suggested that Panchayat Raj institutions should be given constitutional recognition, constitutional status, etc. And Rajiv Gandhi was highly impressed by the report. Then after some time in 1988, another committee was appointed. That committee is known as P.K. Tungkon Committee. And Tungkon Committee made a suggestion, we must prescribe certain uniform standards in the working of Panchayat Raj institution. Constitution should be amended, and Constitution should prescribe certain uniform standards in the working of Panchayat Raj institution. And similarly, in the same year, another committee was also appointed, that is known as Gadgil Committee, B.N. Gadgil Committee. And Gadgil Committee also suggested that we must give constitutional recognition, constitutional status to Panchayat Raj institutions, and we must fix certain uniform standards in the working of Panchayat Raj institution. By uniform standard, we mean, we know, now in all Panchayat Raj institutions, there should be minimum 33.3% reservation. Similarly, minimum age will be 21. These are uniform standards prescribed by the Constitution. So these committees gave a report, and Rajiv Gandhi was highly impressed by the report, and Rajiv Gandhi wanted to implement this. So Rajiv Gandhi introduced two bills in the parliament. These two bills were known as 64th and 65th Amendments. 64th and 65th Amendments, Panchayat Nagarapalika bills. In 89, these bills were introduced. But unfortunately, Rajiv Gandhi could not get clear majority, two-third majority in both houses. We know Rajiv Gandhi was appointed Prime Minister after the assassination of Indira Gandhi. And after that, there was an election. And in the election, Congress party could win about 404 seats in the Lok Sabha. That was thumping majority, two-third majority. But when the Constitution Amendment requires two-third majority in both houses, so these amendment bills were passed by the Lok Sabha by two-third majority. But when these two bills came before the Rajya Sabha, both were defeated. So Rajiv Gandhi's period, he could not realize his dream. These bills could not be passed. Later, Rajiv Gandhi resigned. Next Prime Minister was VP Singh. VP Singh had only a short tenure. So during his tenure also, these two bills could not be passed. Later, P.V. Narasimha Rao became the Prime Minister of India. And he decided to pass these two bills. So in 91-92 period, these two bills were introduced and these were passed. And you know, these are therefore now known as 73rd and 74th Amendments. These two amendments are now 73rd and 74th Amendments. And 64th Amendment is now 73rd. And the old 65th Amendment became 74th Amendment. And these two amendments were passed during the period of P.V. Narasimha Rao. So credit goes to P.V. Narasimha Rao for passing these two amendment bills. These two amendment bills were passed on 24th April 1992. 24th April 1992. And then after it was passed by these were passed by central government, this was sent to the states. States were given 1 year to approve or accept the amendment bills, and within 1 year, the states agreed to this, and finally, this was signed by the president, and this came into force from 24th April 1993. From that time onwards, these two amendments have been implemented. And you know, April 24th, the date on which these bills were passed and bills came into force, is celebrated as National Panchayat Day. We celebrate National Panchayat Day throughout India on 24th April because the bills were passed on 24th April. So after the bills were passed, certain uniform standards were prescribed. The bills were sent to the states, and states were asked to make laws. And every state made such laws based upon 73rd and 74th amendments. And Kerala also passed these amendments. And on the basis of the new amendments, the Panchayat Act and Municipal Corporation Act were passed. And first elections in Kerala were held in 1995. Now it is compulsory that every 5 years there must be election. So we know in Kerala, 95 first election, then 2000, 2005, 2010, 2015, 2020. And next election will be in 2025. That means every 5 years there must be election. So these are the important points you must remember about the passing of the two acts, 73rd and 74th Amendments Act. And because of the two Amendments Act, we have prescribed certain uniform standards in the working of the Panchayat Raj institutions, and we could strengthen the Panchayat Raj institutions. Now we have to study the important features of 73rd and 74th Amendments, and that we shall discuss in the next class. Hope it is clear. If you have any doubt, you can contact me in the phone number provided, or you can comment on the comment box. And if you like this video, subscribe to this, share this, and if you have any comment, you also put it in the comment box.